Hi everyone, Corrie Thorne, the spiritual teacher, intuitive, emotional spiritual consultant, so much more. I hate titles. So this is the channel message for the month of December, and this one I'm coming down to the last of them. This one is for Cancer. You are my last of my recordings. So last but not least. So for Cancer this month, I'm really truly channeling through um, kind of almost like not knowing where you belong or trying to make yourself fit somewhere somehow. And it's like I don't feel like, and this is it's like it's almost like we're trying to like it's like trying to push in and trying to push out. I'm like, it's like you're in that thread, you're in that thread, you're in that canal of rebirth somehow. But for some reason, for some of my cancers, you're really fighting hard, like almost like having that whole, um, like not a tantrum, just kind of like trying to really truly hold on to an identity, to who you used to be, who you were. And it's like, no, this is who I am. I know this is who I am, and this is who I've always been. And I'm just going to keep being her. And it's like, or him, or whatever it may be, or however you identify. And it's like, and what we're being told is that I don't know if you fully know who you are because you have such a hold to that identity. And this is going deeper into telling you that there is other aspects of you that you have yet to discover. And part of it is for some of you, you've held strong to the persona, to the identity, to who you are, to the world you've created, to the roles that you play, and in wanting to be seen that way, seen as that person. And it's not all that truth for you. And so you're just being told to know that, it's like I split the deck, and I don't often split the deck. And I'm like, why did I just split my deck? And I'm like, the deck just got split. And I'm like, we split the deck here. And so it's like in the middle. So it's like, what's in the middle? What is like sandwiched in between? You have to making a sandwich, you have the two slices of bread that you need, or the two pieces of lettuce, however, we don't do carbs. So for some of you, you also have to be aware of the carbs and the sugars. That's another message. But it is like, what makes it really tasty, or what makes it really good? So what really gives you that pizzazz? What really takes away that whole forced self, or the essence of the true self? And that's really coming like in right now for you. If we're going through a rebirth, going through major changes, who are you on the other side of all of this? And who do you need to be? So there is some sense of freedom of like, just let that self go, like let it go into the wind, let it put it, we're in fire energy right now. It's like, just let that go over here and become present with this one, like this life right here. Sit in this life, be with this life, be present in this moment, connect to this moment, and know this is your truest of truths right here, right now. That you're in. It's like, I don't know. And it's like, don't try to push anything, but this is an opportunity to sit, because you're trying to make a relationship with the world and not with the soul. And that's the difference. You're trying to identify by the essence of your zodiac sign of I'm a I'm a Cancer. That's who I am. And that's just who I am. It's like, no, you are so much more than just that aspect. You have a whole house, and I don't really do astrology, not yet. But you have a whole house of energies, like of other signs that exist in different degrees in different planets, that create you, that are a part of your creation. And you're being told to really look at, explore, get a astrological reading done where you find out your birth chart, you discover a little bit more about you, and you start to know more about know more about the other flip sides of you, the good, bad, and the ugly, that you can really start to look at self and explore that on a deeper level. That's, that's your biggest, it's kind of your biggest lesson for some of you, is that you've been constantly trying to prove yourself, trying to almost like show off a little bit, and not in a negative way. It's like you're so unaware of this sometimes. It's just that this having to try to prove yourself in the world, but also being very caught up in some old past energies. And it's like, even if you don't think it's there, it is showing up in attitude. It's showing up in that personality. It's showing up in what you're trying to show to the world. And being able to set yourself free of that right now. Because I feel like it's a softer, I don't know, something just feels very soft, very gentle over here. And it's like, it's not that you become this, roll over and just, but it's just about, it softens up so that you don't have to be trying so hard into the creation of trying to approve to anybody or to be liked by anybody. And then on the flip side of that, I'm also picking up some deep-seated kind of anger stories that you've tied to, even whether it's other zodiacs. It's like, well, this is what they're all like. Well, the same thing. You look at a sign, you look at previous experiences with people under those signs, and you relate them to being all the same. And upbringing, lifestyle, choices, everything else affects who somebody is based on their sign. Not everybody is as you have told yourself they are. There's stories that you hold on to so that you can stay in that same story, whether it's a victim, a martyr, or to play that savior role for somebody else. That whole, I'm an empath, this is how I am. And it's like, and a healthy empath is not crippled because they can't exist in the world. A healthy empath knows that they have that ability to be able to connect to that energy, and then ask yourself, is it mine? Is this someone else? Where does this belong in the world? And to not judge it, but to either turn, walk, redirect. But for some of you, I feel like you've pushed yourself into the story, or into relationships, or into places. And then when it goes sideways and when it goes wrong, you then just like become that hell on wheels energy. And you kind of come after, and it's like, it's time to start to move beyond that, shift beyond that, because it is hiding the beauty of your truth. It's hiding the beauty of the truth. And so I feel like it's like making amends, cleaning up that old energy. And it's funny, a Scorpio also had some cleaning up, some cleaning up, some letting go, releasing. And, it's like, as hard as a rock is, it does break. It is fragile. If we look at a crystal, a stone, and it's, sorry, make the noise, and it's hard, right? It's hard. You touch it, it's hard, it's rigid. And I feel like that's what happens to Cancer when they allow themselves to tell themselves enough stories, or to hold on to and harbor that much of the past, that they become crystallized, frozen in time, stuck in time, constantly living in that old energy, or pursuing a life or an identity based on some of that old. And so you're being told, there is a beautiful gem, there's a reason to this, but this is fragile. If I were to take this and just drop it on the carpet, it wouldn't break. But if I were to take that outside and slam it down and let it would break. And when it would break apart, the same beautiful crystals would be there. And inside, broken apart, it might even have another whole new beauty to it. So it's like letting that hard, rigid energy, that energy that is kind of cocooned around you, letting it break away. It's like Humpty Dumpty, and letting it break away, letting it fall away, and then being able to see how beautiful that crystal still is. And just be that. And it's funny because I have a smoky quartz. So it's like, this is, being able to fuse that negative energy, to release that negative energy. And so if you work online, if you work with a computer a lot, if you're in this whole, how this whole new 5D is, coming up, if you're working with electronics and stuff, I suggest you keep this. But you can't just keep it there and not cleanse it. You have to cleanse these. So cleansing out, to allow yourself to cleanse out, become a smoky quartz in your own self, and clear out the old, so that you can become clear, focused, fall into this softer, gentler energy, and allow the gem that is still buried to be exposed and to start to come to life. And that is coming into relationship with that soul journey. And when you do, it's amazing what happens. I hope this resonates with you. Much love. Have a beautiful rest of December. And I'll see you in January. Much love. Bye.